It will interest you to know that the brain is the only organ that does not have pain receptor. That does not have pain receptor. That is, your brain cannot feel pain. Yes, your brain does not have pain receptors. If they are operating your brain, you will not feel any pains. If you feel it's not true, somebody should volunteer and come on.
Okay, you volunteer
I'm
now.
feeling the injury, the pains here, not in your head, not in your brain. Your skull, your flesh, not in your brain.
So I'll better have blood.
Your brain does not have any pain receptor at all. You said? What the head? See your brain, did you say brain? Alright, so just know that. Just like I said earlier, we are not looking at anatomy of the brain. We are looking at biochemistry of the brain.
Yeah.
Good. So, the brain is involved in everything you do. Yesterday when we were looking at vision, we saw how vision is related to the brain, right?
Yes, sir.
We said the impulse from the retina is sent to the brain through what? Optic nerve, right? Good. Now, in the brain is involved in motion. I want to move. All voluntary and involuntary activities, our brain is involved. Are we getting it? Now, there are two main types of cells in the brain. Just two main types of cells. I would say the two main types of cells in the brain are what and what? Neurons and glial cells. Now, these are the two main types of cells in the brain. Neurons and glial cells. So let's look at the first one, neurons. Please, this will likely come out. So pay attention.
This that one.
Yes. It is very easy to draw. Once you know the function of each part, you can draw it comfortably. Now this is how the neuron looks like. And we say the neuron is the functional unit of the brain. The neuron is the functional unit of the brain, right?
Yes.
Now, looking at the structure of the neuron, let's start from here. The soma. We said if you don't call it soma, you call it what?
Cell body.
Cell body. And what is the function of the soma? It contains what? Now this whole part here, look up. This whole part here is what we are calling the soma, the cell body. Then the nucleus is found inside the soma. And you know it is the nucleus that contains the genetic material, right?
Yes.
So the nucleus here still contains the genetic material. So there is a genetic material in the brain.
Wow.
Do you get that?
Yes.
So it is the nucleus that contains that genetic material. And where is the nucleus found?
Soma.
The cell body or soma. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Good. Now we look at how impulses are transmitted, but for now, let's just look at the functions of each part. If you look at this, we have the dendrites. First, this is dendron. If you look at this stem here, this is a dendron, and each dendron ends with a dendrite, like branch-like stalks. Do we get?
Yes.
So the branch-like stalks here is like our dendrites. And we say, what's the function of the dendrites? Good. Now, if you have, let me take it this way. If you have something like this, alright, so this is one neuron. Let's take for example, this is one neuron and this is another neuron. This is one neuron and this is another neuron. Now, the dendrites transmits information, impulse from one neuron to another. Now, look at receives impulse. Now look at the dendrite of one neuron here, connected to the tail, let me call it the tail of another neuron. So this dendrite now receives information from this other one. Do we get? Yeah. So the dendrites receive another neuron is connected here. Now we have so many neurons connected to each other. Now, this one receives information from the other neuron through the dendrites. Do we get that now?
Yeah.
Now, the axon. What do we say is the function of our axon?
We release neurotransmitters.
They do what?
Transmit electrical signals.
They relay what? I'm not getting it.
They transmit electrical signals away from the cell body.
Now, remember that they receive impulse with the dendrites, right?
Yes.
Impulse, we receive impulse from through the dendrites from other neurons. Now it gets into the cell body. The axon, go of this now, the axon, this strong here, the axon transmits the impulse, the electrical impulse from the cell body, directing it towards the axon terminal. Do we get that? Now looking at this, though we have different types of neurons actually, but we are using a general model. Now looking at this, we have the swamp cell here, we have the myelin sheet. The myelin sheet serves as an insulator. As we go on, we see the individual functions. Serves as an insulator, and I must say, it is not all neurons that contain myelin sheets. What? Just take it as this is an insulator, preventing the loss of electric charge. Remember, impulses are passing through this, right? Yeah. So we need something to cover it, something like a covering to shield it, so that the impulse will not leak out. Take it that way. So that's what it's doing. We have the node of Ranvier, we see the function as we go on. And all the information, the impulse from the cell body passes this way towards the axon terminal. And remember, the axon terminal here connects the next neuron, right? Yes. The soma of the next neuron, that is the dendrite, connects to the axon terminal of the previous neuron. Do we get that? Yeah. And remember, it is the dendrite that receives information from the other. So as information passes from this, it gets to the dendrite of the next one. From that one will transmit to the next, and that is how impulse are sent. Do you understand? Yes. So this is basically how the neuron looks like. So if you ask to draw the 5 basic parts you should put, your dendrite, we say it receives impulse from where? From other neurons, right? Yes. The soma or the cell body which contains the what? The nucleus contains the what? The next material, right? We have the axon that relays impulse from the cell body, right? Yes. Now the axon terminal links one neuron to another neuron or cell, right? Yes. So information from here is relayed to the next neuron. Now, based on function and structure, neurons can be classified into 3. Based on, you've written it. Based on function and structure, neurons are classified into how many? Into 3. One is what? Sensory neurons. We have the sensory neurons. We have the second one is what? Motor neurons. And the third one is what? Interneurons. Good. Now, the sensory neurons. We have sense organs, right? Mention one sense organ. How many sense organs do we have? 5, right? Yes. Now, let's use one. The skin. Okay, or let's use eyes. Since we did eye already, we've done the eye already. Now, the eye is a sense organ, right? Yes. Good. It contains photoreceptors. Good. Now, the type of neuron that receives impulse from the sense organ is called the what? Sensory neurons, right? Yes. Remember when we looked at the visual apparatus, when we looked at the eyes, we said that once light passes through the pupil directs it to where? Yes. The lens, right? Yes. Now from the lens, it is inverted and it falls on the what? Yes. On the retina. And on the retina we have 2 types of cells, the rod and the what? Among rod and cone, which one is involved in black and white vision? Rod. And we said there is a particular photoreceptor in the rod, which is called what? And we looked at rhodopsin containing what and what? Rhodopsin and what? Now as light strikes the rhodopsin, it will begin to what? Break. It will dissociate, right? Yes. Converting the 11-6 retina to what? All trans. Good. Since all trans retina cannot bind to scotopsin, it will begin to fall out, right? Yes. Forming what? Batochromopsin. From batochromopsin to lumirhodopsin. From lumirhodopsin to To what? Metallodoxin 1 or metallodoxin 1 2. And we said if you don't call it metallodoxin 2, you call it what? Activated rhodopsin. Now at that point, scotoxin completely dissociates and may recover what? All trans. But what I want to point out, in metallodoxin 2, we said there's an excitation, right?
Yes.
Which will cause the transmission of electric force, right? From the eyes to where? The brain. Now, any neuron involved in the reception of impulse from the sense organ is called what?
Sensory neuron.
Let's say, for example, this stuff is hot. You are not touching it, it's me that know. This stuff here is hot. Now, if I touch this hot object unknown to me, I think I'll hold it comfortably and stay like
No.
it's very comfortable, right? Yes. No, right? Before I even realize myself, I've removed my hand. What makes you feel that sensation? You see your brain that is touching it?
No.
Meaning that the impulse from here is sent to the brain. For it is until the brain interprets that this thing is hot, boy, remove your hand, that is not remove your hand. But it is done in a very fast pace. And that's why involved in reception of impulse from the sense organ and transmitting it to the central nervous system. The brain is called what? Sensory neuron, right? Yes. So now the motor neurons, as the brain receives the information now from the sensory neuron, as they receive the information that this thing is hot, the brain will now send another information through the motor neurons to that sensory organ that remove your hand, it's very hot. You will not feel the pains. So you don't feel the pains until your brain interprets. Do we get it? Yes. So the motor neuron sends information from the brain to the sense organ. Do we get that? Yes. Why? The sensory neuron sends information impulse from the sense organs to the brain. When I mentioned central nervous system, hope we know central nervous system consists of what? But here we are interested in the brain. But if I may ask, what links the brain and the spinal cord together? What links the brain and the spinal cord together? You are talking rubbish and you are like, your mother will see this. Alright, so what links the brain? I gave an assignment. If you want to add to it, what links the brain and the spinal cord together? Somebody's getting it from here. Oh my God. So have you heard of who said something here?
I said fun.
It's the last. Have you heard of medulla oblongata?
Yeah.
When you are in secondary school, you say, I'll keep the medulla oblongata in your leg. Please. No. So it links the other parts of the brain and spinal cord together. We're not going to use the eyes. Yeah. Alright, so basically, we understand the parts of the neuron.
Yes.
Now, that is the sensory neuron. We talked about the motor neuron. Now, the interneuron is also called the intermediate neuron. Intermediate neuron. And it relates information between the sensory and the nerve and the motor neurons. Intermediate, between. It links the sensory and the motor together. But in this course, basically, we'll be dealing with the sensory and the neurons and the motor neurons, basically. Sir? I said the motor neurons takes impulse from the central nervous system back to the target organ, back to the sense organ. Sensory neurons receive from the sense organ sensory, while motor neurons bring it back. So you feel that pains. Or if it is eye reception, you feel that.